So this formation is going to be really good if you like playing Tiki Taka, and it's also still a really good formation if you like a fast build-up counter-attacking formation type setup. So really this formation, this 4-3-2-1 is going to specifically be good at basically anything really. It's a really versatile formation and you can play however you want to play with it. It's just that the point is for it to be good at everything. Obviously I'm in the middle of weekend league still, but as you can see my team right here for this weekend league and custom tactics. You can see I have that 4-3-2-1 set, ultra defensive, and like always, there's no changing this ever. I'm always on defensive style, balanced. The reason why I say that, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, because balanced incorporates every single type of defensive style, so you still get benefits of pressing, benefits of high lines, overload ball side. With balance, it's just that it makes sure that everything's done rather than a specific thing. And then 44 width. This patch didn't do anything in terms of changing how much or the effect of certain width. So really 44 and between like 40 to 45, 50, it's still going to be the best. I have it set to 44 obviously. Really, there's no difference in terms of gameplay for this patch when it comes to width. So keep it at 44. And for the first time in a while, we are not doing 71 depth anymore. The reason why we don't do 71 depth anymore, ever since the midfield congestion issue was fixed, 71 depth is not as annoying to play against. And when it's not as annoying to play against, when it's not as good to play against, you have to understand that with 71 depth, there was always a small issue with it. Even when it was really bad and really strong, there was always that issue because it could sometimes cause you to have players out of position because they would team press. Now when midfield congestion is fixed and the other team has midfield options, we're dealing with 71 depth. It's going to be a lot more consequences because you're going to have a team that's pressing and they're still not closing down options in the midfield. So, but we still want the benefits of a high line. That way we can limit how many passing options in general. So 60 width or 60 depth is still going to be ideal. However, you're not going to be dealing with an aggressive team press. You're not going to have an aggressively high line. So you're not going to be too easy to defend, or you're not going to be too easy to attack now. You can still use 71 depth, however, I feel like, in short, the consequences with 71 depth are very strong now. Build-up play, balanced, and chance creation, direct passing. I did experiment with fast build-up for once, and the issue with fast build-up for formation is that, ironically, it's very unintuitive, primarily because with fast build-up, all it does, despite the name being fast build-up, all it does is send players up more aggressively. And you don't want that because with direct passing, as you can see right here, you're still going to have a lot of passing options. And this formation is supposed to be balanced in terms of having every single playing style as an option. So you can play long balls with this formation, you can play Tiki Taka, and you can play counter-attacking. If I just locked it down to fast build-up, you're not going to be able to do everything at once, and you're going to open yourself up for a counter-attack. So we want it on balance so we can have every single playing style considered for this gameplay, or for this formation. And then direct passing is pretty self-explanatory why you want direct passing. It's the best chance creation method this FIFA, and it was the same last FIFA as well. So there's no change to this. You're just going to want to keep it at direct passing. And then 44 width. The reason why we want 44 width specifically is because with this formation, you want your wingers, your left forward and your right forward, to tuck in between the other team's center backs and full backs. So you don't want them on the outside of them, because that's where your full backs are going to go. Your own full backs, your own wing backs. Your wingers, your left forward and right forward, they're going to tuck in inside of the fullbacks and the center backs in between those pockets of space. That way, if you can get a through ball to them, they're going to have a way better chance to score or to pass. So if you're a player that loves cutbacks and things like that, you're not going to really like 44 width or this formation to begin with because the wingers aren't going that far wide. But I'm not a rat, so play as you want. And then 5 players in the box. The reason why we're doing 5 players in the box, we'll go more into detail when I go into the player instructions, but we're no longer going to be attacking as aggressive anymore. It's primarily due to the fact that wingbacks were nerfed. If you read the patch notes, you'll know that wingbacks now track back very slowly. So if you're a player that loved running up the wings with Bacha or Lorenze or something like that, you're not going to be able to do that as effectively anymore because they're going to be very vulnerable on the counterattack. So we no longer need that extra fullback. So 5 is going to be perfect. Before I continue and show you guys the crucial player instructions, I wanted you guys to check out the links in my bio where you can find my Discord. I'm building a community there for discussing tactics, squad building, and overall FIFA discussions, so if that's something that you're looking for, be free to check out my Discord server. You can also find my Twitch where I plan to stream live coaching sessions for Ultimate Team soon, and also other fun things like pro clubs and things like that. You can also find my Twitter as well if that's something you want to find me on. And also, if you'd like to support my content and help my channel grow, be sure to like the video and subscribe. And also feel free to leave me comments down below if you have any questions, and I'll make sure to answer them when I see them. And then going to player instructions, starting from our defenders, obviously there is 2 center backs. Leave them as is, always default. Your goalkeeper, you can put him on comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. It's up to you really. I honestly don't see a gameplay difference, but if you see a difference with your goalkeeper, you can go ahead. And then your fullbacks, just like previously, you're going to want one side to be on balanced attack and then the other side on stay back while attacking. However, you're not going to put this on overlap. You're going to leave them on mixed attack for both. The reason why I say that is because overlap with balanced attack will make him play a little bit more aggressively. The reason why I say that is because with balanced attack, he's only going to push up whenever there's space. However, when you put him on overlap, he's going to stay very close to the touchline, and the problem with that is that the touchline always has a ton of tempting space. So it's going to feel like he has joined the attack if you put him on balanced attack and overlap. So he's going to still run it really aggressively. That way, in order to prevent that, we're going to leave him on mixed attack. So he's still going to go up and he's still going to go for overlaps. However, he's only going to do it when there's actually a ton of space. So that's going to be a lot better in terms of defending the counterattacks. And then your middle center mid, this right here, you need a player that's primarily going to be like a CDM playmaker. This guy is a player that when you're building up, you want to get the ball to this guy because this guy's going to be the player that can send the ball anywhere. He's going to be always open in the build-up, especially with the new patch. He's always going to have a ton of space. He's going to drop deep in front of the center backs, and he's always going to be open. And then when you get the ball to him, the rest of your team above him are going to be making a ton of movement for him. So you're going to want a player like Toure or someone like I don't know, Kante, someone that's really good in defense, because this is going to be your CDM effectively, but can also distribute and pass the ball very well. So Toure for me is perfect for that. You're going to want him on stay back while attacking and cover center. And then your 2 other midfielders, these are going to be your center mids. One's going to be the number 10 and one's going to be the number 8. The number 10 is going to be, for example, as you can see, Llorente is on bounce attack. The number 10, if you have your right back on bounce attack, your right mid's going to be the one that's on get forward, and it's going to be considered your number 10. And for this guy, like I said, get forward and then cover wing. The cover wing isn't necessarily a defensive output or a defensive oriented idea, isn't relevant to defense actually, it's actually for offense. When he builds up, he's going to come very wide and make a passing triangle between the right winger, him, and the right back. That's why we want him to get forward, so he's going to be a very good option in the attack when you're trying to attack through the width, because he's going to be making a huge passing triangle that's going to create a lot of opportunities between him, the right winger and Joel Cole right there, and the right back. So get forward, cover wing on him. And then the left, as you can see, since Mendy's on stay back while attacking, the left mid is going to be on bounce attack, cover center. This is going to be like an actual center mid. It's going to be like the number 8. He's going to play more like a Bellingham, I guess. He's going to be a box to box, since he's going to be basically everywhere. He's going to cover a lot of grass. So you're going to want a player that's good at basically everything here. And then obviously with your other players right here, you can put a player like Bellingham here or De Bruyne. But if you don't want to and you want to have like a 4th attacker, you can put Salah or any type of winger right here. And then your 2 wingers, both your wingers are going to be on stay central, mixed attack, come back on defense. The reason why I say that is because this formation, as I said earlier, is going to be very defensively considerate for defense and conservative as well. With comeback on defense, FC24 this year does not punish wingers effectively because these players can still run back and forth really rapidly and really fast. So comeback on defense can be triggered and used a lot still and not have an issue and cause a lack of players on the attack. It's not bad for the player's stamina necessarily. It's not bad for the player's build up or the team's build up, because comeback on defense, once you get the ball, the player's still going to go up on attack and make a through run very fast. So comeback on defense, that way they drop back, is going to be very strong on the defense, and you're not going to have issues in terms of defending. You're going to have a lot of players to defend with, so you don't have to deal with dragging your center backs out of position a lot. And then your striker, stay central, getting behind, stay forward. This is going to be your classic number 9 poacher. He's going to make a lot of very good runs. Even though he's on stay central, he's still going to get on the left or on the right side of the center backs. So it's really based on where the wingers are, because these wingers might drag themselves out of position a little bit, and the striker is still going to take advantage of that at times. And with stay central, getting behind, stay forward, due to the nerf of 71 depth, this is a lot stronger now because you're going to find a lot of opportunities for through balls. Because the lack of an effective 71 depth is going to create a lot more opportunities for through balls for plays like this. So you're going to want a player on stay central, getting behind, stay forward. And that stay forward is going to be very, very helpful in the attack. Because when he's always close to the defensive line, he's going to be more likely to trigger a automatic run in behind. So that complements the getting behind. So you're going to have a lot of opportunities on the counter attack or when you have the ball to begin with to just press triangle or press Y and send it right behind the defense and you know, make it through run, you know. A few gameplay things to keep in mind while you're playing. Starting with one of my favorite ways that I played pre-patch was the finesse shots. Finesse shots are still good despite what people may say. They were not actually nerfed, rather they were just balanced a little bit to be more reasonable. Previously, you could just finesse from anywhere with a play like Son, Salah, Rapinoe, and it was really, really annoying. However, right now, there's still viable options. You just need to be really, really careful about where you do it. You need to be shooting from angles where you're at the edge of the box and your angle is basically perfect for the shot, rather than like before, you know, you could shoot from like 40 yards out. Yeah, you can't really do that anymore. You're gonna have to be actually on the edge of the box. So don't be scared of taking long shots anymore. You can still do them. Just make sure obviously you have the finesse shot plus trait, and hopefully you can actually green time it, because green timing is what's actually gonna get the ball in the net considerably more often. And even then, for long shots, even though they nerfed finesse shot plus, Trivela plus is still really, really good. So if you have a player like Modric that can hit those Trivelas, don't be scared to take long shots with him. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you're attacking, pay close attention to your fullbacks. I know I mentioned this earlier, but fullbacks this patch were nerfed significantly, where if you attack with them, they're gonna drop back when you lose the ball very, very slowly. So teams can attack your width and get a lot of through balls in, and they can be a huge problem when they counterattack for you. So what you want to do when you lose the ball and you have an attacking fullback that's up the field, you're going to want to pick up that fullback with your left stick and drag him all the way back to your defense. So keep that in mind when you're attacking the fullbacks. Also, just to repeat what I said earlier, because this part is very, very important, pay close attention to that CDM that you assigned in game. That player is going to be probably the biggest player on your team, because he's going to be the player that's always going to have the ball and distribute the ball very effectively. When you have that player, make sure you're aiming for precise passes, because when he has the ball, his team in front of him, when he has the ball, the whole team's in front of him. Every attacker is in front of him. So you have the most options for distributing possession towards an attacking phase when he has the ball. Aim for passes that are crisp and precise, and hopefully you have a player in this position that has good passing traits. So someone with things like incisive pass, long ball pass, things like that, they're going to be very, very crucial. And also Tiki taka. Tiki taka would be a nice one as well. And you'll find out that because of the 71 depth nerf and the benefit and the patch and the fixing of midfield congestion, this player is going to be very, very strong and very, very useful. He's going to be consistently your main man and basically your MVP every single game, even if he's not scoring goals. One thing that's important to keep in mind about this formation is that this formation is very, very good at generating passing options in the attack. However, it's only as good as your passing options are only as good when you actually, pass them to the players that are open. So a rule of thumb is that every single game you should aim to have 90% passing accuracy. You can take a look at this mid-game when you pause and take a look at your match facts. Every single game, take a look at the end. Make sure you're above 90%. If you're below 90%, you're not passing clinically enough. So aim for 90% passing, and when you're passing, aim to be precise. Don't take risky passes. Don't take passes that don't make sense. Don't take passes that are too aggressive. Always pass when you have an idea on what to do right after, if that makes sense. And for the most part, that's it for this formation. If you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. If this formation worked out for you and you really experienced on FC24 was starting to improve and you were starting to get better at the game with my formations, go ahead and drop a like and subscribe. And that's all.